Hi, this is Erica Dyer with Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch. And with my producer, Nick. Nick, you were sick last week. See, I got to
Yeah,
call you out.
yeah.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. I went to New York and got something I've never had before. COVID.
AIDS,
Oh
herpes.
God. Oh God.
Oh, well, you said you never had it before. I'm sorry. Maybe you had those.
I wasn't thinking about those, but thanks.
Crabs,
God damn
warts.
it. God damn it. Oh, geez.
COVID. Oh, 'tis the season. That
Apparently.
is.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But you
Yes.
said it was mostly for you. You're tired, right? And you can't smell or taste anything. Is
Yeah,
that
I
still
mean
the
it's
same?
mostly I've just been exhausted and like not been able to do much. So it's just been like, oh God. Yeah. It's just been Yeah, very. It's like being in like neck deep water in the pool and trying to like run. That's what it feels like. So, yeah, not a happy camper. I hate being sick not because I want somebody to take care of me, but just because I can't do shit. That's what I really hate about
Yeah.
it. Like I just can't do things. That's what makes me irritated about it. So,
Yeah, I remember. I think Kathy said something real similar to that. Like you said, trying to run and you're in a pool, you're in a body of water. I think she described it kind of the same way.
yeah,
She just it was so like every movement was just it was a fight to just walk, to just move.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It was bad. But I'm no longer contagious. And I've been feeling better. I've just been taking like Delsum and like nasal spray and things like that, so I've been okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still a slight cough here and there, but it is what it is. But it feels like everybody I've talked to says it takes a while. It takes really a long time for it to get over you because it really just like fucks you up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this is actually my first time having it. I didn't have it during the pandemic or anything. So
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
neither did I. Not
yeah,
that I know of. If I had it, I wasn't one of those people that really had many symptoms. Okay.
yeah. So
And
yeah,
how was your trip to New York otherwise, other than getting sick?
it was it was fun. Went with the family. Dealing with them trying to herd cats basically to get like out of the hotel and do anything. Oh God. Um,
Oh my god, I love
I
it.
did get to go see the Ghostbusters Firehouse, which is one of the things I wanted to do. That was fun.
Oh, fun.
I did go to the 9/11 memorial. I finally did that. That was, you know, seeing pictures and seeing videos different from seeing it in person. It was,
Yep.
it was very
I
different.
told you. I
Yeah.
told you it's a completely different, and they have things I hadn't seen published. Um, some of them are really common, but yeah, it was different.
Yeah, it was weird seeing some of the names of the females saying like with child, with child, with child, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I never thought. You know what? I swear to God, until you just said that, I never thought of that.
Yeah, some of them said that, and it was also kind of jarring to see that. I was like, oh, they put it there, so it was weird. It was
Wow.
weird to see that.
Hmm.
And mom said, oh, some of these names are Middle Eastern, some of them are Indian, this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh God. So it took everybody basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was weird. It was weird to see. It was very humbling to see. I was not going to go to the museum because it would, it
Mm-hmm.
would, yeah, I wouldn't be able to handle it honestly. So I didn't go to the museum at all. Yeah, that was one thing. I was wavering on it, and I was like, I don't want to do that. You know, that's gonna be too much to remember from that day. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it.
Maybe another time. It really is a powerful piece. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes museums, like when I see people post pictures on Instagram or whatever, and they go to visit like some of the camps that they had over in Germany and all that. I just I don't know that I could do that.
Yeah,
Just the amount of devastation and murder that happened, and just torture and mm,
yeah. I couldn't do that either. That's people who can do that. Um, they're different, man. I couldn't. Yeah, just
well,
couldn't do
it's
it.
one thing. Yeah, it's one thing if you're going to pay your respects. It's another when it's turned touristy, which is a lot of what I see on Instagram. It's more touristy pictures. Hey, look at me, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's weird. It's kind
Yeah.
of like what is it, Logan Paul or one of the Paul brothers who went to the suicide forest in Japan, I think. He
Oh,
was, and he
yes.
took
I
pictures and
remember that.
video, and like, I love how YouTube made like semi big deal about it. They took him off for like 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, that's your punishment. It's like, okay, we
Yeah.
see who you like and who you let slide on
Yep.
things.
Who brings in the money?
Yeah,
Yep.
it was terrible, but they let it go. It was dumb.
Mm. Unbelievable. Well, we got like a month until we hit Scarefest.
Yes, and I'm glad you helped me out to find a cheaper place to stay there. So that's good.
Good. Yeah, we're excited. We're excited. I keep looking forward to it. I'm like, oh, I cannot wait. And then 3 movies that I'll know people from are going to be playing there. Go Away, a Cannibal Comedian, and God, what was the other one? Oh, Phantom Fun World.
Oh, okay, yeah. I missed Phantom Fun World at Horror Hound because I was working that one, but I'll
It'll be
probably check it out at
Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably
Yep.
check it out.
I want to see it. Yeah, because it's I know people in all 3 of those.
Yeah, and it being made in Kentucky, there's going to be a lot of people from Kentucky at that convention. Probably a lot of friends I used to party with like 10 years ago when I did the
Nice.
convention, so that'll be fun. That'll be
Nice.
fun. Everybody will see me and be like, "Oh my God, you're back!" So yeah, that'll be fun.
Good. Well, and I got to admit, so we're going in on Thursday for that bourbon thing, and
Yes.
Kathy and I were talking. There's that one restaurant. I can't think of what it was. They were selling tickets for some meal thing, but Kathy said, "Well, what if we just make reservations just to go?" Like, so she called and she made reservations for Friday for lunch, right? And then I mentioned to her, she goes, "Oh, I'm so glad we made reservations. Like they're they said there weren't many times left." And I'm like, "So how many people did you make the reservation for?" And she goes, 2. I go, "Okay, well, I suppose Nick and Heather, they're adults. They can go find something to do." She goes,
Jesus. I'll go eat a convention hot dog or hamburger or something. It's fine.
yeah,
Fuck me, right?
she goes, "Oh, I honestly didn't even think about us having other people around." I'm like, oh my God. Yes, I do know other people. No, actually, I don't know that many people. But so had a birthday party went to last night with my friend Tracy, and the one that went to New York with me.
Okay.
And I actually feel really bad for her. This is why I keep hanging out with her. First of all, we go to this musical, and I don't know why I do these things to myself. I enjoy musicals. I enjoy horror films. I enjoy musicals. Hey, I'm well-rounded. What can I say? And she asked me if I wanted to go to this musical, and I said, sure. Well, everybody knows I'm always fucking stressed about work. I'm like at my breaking point with work. I'm ready to just like quit and be on welfare for a while.
Oh, God.
I'm like, okay. So when she asked me if I wanted to go to this musical, I said, sure. And it was actually a good time. We went to lunch. We watched this musical. We had a good time. But then I start getting to the point, and I think what it is, and I'm like this in relationships too, I get to the point to where I'm just tired of talking to you or being around you, and I will start tuning you out, and it's just like, okay, I'm done now. And she was talking about something that she wanted to go to, and she goes, well, would you be interested in going? I said, I don't know. I'll have to see what I'm doing. I'm still trying to catch up on this work stuff. And she goes, well, it's only like 4 hours of your day. And I said, no, Tracy, it is not 4 hours of my day because it takes me 2 hours to get ready. It takes me 40 minutes to drive up here, 40 minutes to drive back, plus the 4 hours for doing the activity. Now we've taken my entire day. I said, and she's just looking at me because that's exactly how I said it. I'm like, oh, no. Now we're talking all this. And she's like, okay, well, you just let me know. I don't know why she's still friends with me because I just get tired of people. Now, I'm trying to be better. Back years ago, I used to be like really fucking rude. This is probably another clue why I don't date. I could be standing there talking to somebody, and if they just start, I don't know, my mind will start wandering, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm really not interested in what you have to say. I find you very boring. I'm going to walk away now. Or I'll just simply say, okay, I'm going to stop you right there. And then they're like, oh, well, did you have something to say? I'm like, no, I was just going to stop you right there because I'm not interested. You know,
damn it.
But I've gotten better about that. Now, I may say it mentally, but I don't say it out loud anymore.
Jeez.
But yeah, I just, and that's what I tend to do with Tracy. I will mentally start, okay, I got to get out of here. Or it's not just going to be mental. It's going to come out my fucking mouth. But she then asked me, hey, next Sunday, which was last night, or next Saturday, this past weekend, she wanted to make plans to go out for her birthday. And she goes, a group of us are going to this hibachi grill, this real popular one in Fort Wayne, Takioka. And I said, yeah, that's fine. And she goes, well, it's going to be a big group of us. There's like 13. And I said, that's fine because I'm thinking, I can come in, make an appearance, and leave, right? And, well, then she texts me and says, I can't get reservations for Saturday. How about Sunday? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So she makes the reservations for Sunday at 5 o'clock. Again, remember, it takes me 2 hours to get ready, 40 minutes drive up there, 40 minutes drive back. Pretty much the only work I could get done is, up until I have my alarm set, I think it was at 3 o'clock. No, actually, it was 1 o'clock because 2 hours to get ready, and then I gave myself an hour to get there. But anyways,
yeah.
Get up there, and she's like, and she had texted me, she's like, well, now we're up to 16 people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Get there. There were 6, including her, that actually showed. So I felt bad for her. I'm like, man, that sucks. That's why, I think that's why I just don't bother to try to do anything. It's hard to get a group of people together. But yeah. So 16 to 6. Oh, well. But yeah, and then I guess now we're doing something next weekend too. I don't know. I think I'm trying to make up for New York. Just, but it's starting to irritate me.
Oh God! No, that's how these last 2 months have been, because I wasn't supposed to go to New York in September with Mom. She's like, oh, just we're doing this whole thing where we're driving up from Tennessee. We're gonna drop off, your aunt and uncle, and then I'll fly back with you. We'll go to Atlanta, and you'll drive me back to Tennessee. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. That's elaborate, but let's do it.
Oh,
I didn't want to do it, but that ended up happening anyways. And then did. Yeah. And now I think me and Jeff are going to Orlando to do Halloween Horror Nights the 7th of October. I was like, I'm glad I kept October somewhat open for doing stuff. So yeah, and I also have the vampire ball at the end of the month with that girl. I'm not gonna say her name. Almost did.
Yeah, you did almost.
Yeah. So I have that too. I have to get that outfit or costume together too. I already bought the fangs for it, so I have to fit them. I have to like mentally put them in front of me so I can actually make sure they fit properly. So when I go and when I go there, I don't I'm not the only asshole without fangs or anything. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
But yeah. Also, it was really funny because like as soon as mom got to the hotel when everybody got to the hotel, she's sitting down and she's like, oh, I've been talking to this Indian girl from Poland. I'm like, Poland? I'm like, okay, whatever.
Wow. Okay.
She only mentioned her once, and she's like, "Oh, I know, I've been talking to her like as if I'm you," and I'm like, "Whatever." And then she never mentions her again. She has yet to mention her again, and this was Monday of like I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I guess the girl didn't give a shit and just left or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
So your mom was chatting with her.
Yeah, I think mom was trying to. I think what mom was trying to do is like chat with her like she's like she was trying to emulate my text. Good luck with that. And I guess she didn't like what was going on or something and just ghosted her. Whatever. Because I haven't heard shit about her again, so I don't
Oh
know.
God.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. I think it's really funny. Um oh, God. I want to talk to you about a couple of things.
Yeah.
One video, well, a couple of videos I keep seeing um on Instagram that I constantly send you because I have nothing better to do in my life. Um uh I kept saying this 2 or 3 times, and it was a couple of women getting offended that men wouldn't just outright like save them or look out for them or anything like that unless the men were like related to them or in a relationship with them, then they would help them out. Other than that, like if it was like if I'm walking through Kroger's and some woman is yelling for help, like I have no obligation to help her. I don't. And a lot of women were getting offended by that, and I'm just like, you want her to be strong, independent women, you know, carry
What
around a
kind
gun,
of yeah,
carry around a gun or a knife. Like I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
what kind of help are we talking about? Because it's like, if you're walking through Kroger and some dude is like beating the shit out of a woman, most people I think might say, "Hey, dude," or at least call the cops.
Yeah. Definitely call the
Um,
cops, but like I'm not going to like put my body in between them because I don't know if the dude's packing or what the deal is.
and then that's true, and I'll tell you because cops will tell you this. A lot of cops died on domestic calls or die because of domestic calls. Um, because if you try to stop it, chances are that bitch is going to jump on your back because you're messing with her man. That shit happens. There's a lot of cops that get injured or even killed over those domestic violence situations
Yeah,
because
so
those fights can be crazy.
yeah, so I kept seeing that, and I'm just like, and being once again being a single dude, I'm just like, you all wanted it to be strong, independent women. Like, why not go get some fucking gun training or go take Krav Maga or something, and deal with it yourself since you're strong and independent.
Yeah,
There's a thought. There's a thought.
yep, that one video that you had sent with that one woman saying, "My husband will not protect you. He's not meant to protect you. If you want a man to protect you, go get your own husband." I
Yeah,
was like, yeah.
but it's one of them. Like a couple of them I've seen have like are just like the face and the tone they use are like they're like, oh, the audacity that men can't protect us. I'm like, what the fuck did you like? You want us to not like be around, and then you want to help. Like pick a fucking lane. Tell it. Give us a goddamn written list of what exactly you fucking want.
And
All
my
right?
thing is, what's the situation?
Yeah.
Because have I driven past people that were broke down on the side of the road at 2 a.m.? I sure as shit have. I've moved over to the other lane and kept on trucking because I don't know what's going on. I'm going to assume they have a phone or they can walk, down the road and get to a place. But yeah, you got it. It depends on the situation. It really does.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of weird because I think one of the videos is like this husband went to go help this woman out who was getting yelled at or whatever, and he got shot
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because he wanted
Yeah.
to help and be a good dude, and he was, and
Yep.
he lost his life, and his
Yep.
his family no longer he doesn't wife doesn't have a husband, kids don't have a father.
Yep,
He's wanting to
that
help.
happens
So,
quite a bit. That
so
happens quite a bit. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it
yeah,
does.
yeah, and like I mean, yeah, it is a definitely a case by case thing. But usually if I see a domestic dispute, unless it's truly violent, and then everybody calls the cops, which is the first thing to do. But I would be very hesitant to jump in because once again, I don't know if the dude's holding a gun, knife, whatever, if he's gonna
Hmm.
attack me, what the deal is. So like I don't need those kind of
Or
problems.
yeah, or depending on the situation, like I said, a lot of those women do not leave. I back in the day, way back in the day, there was a friend of mine who was married, got married very, very young to this guy. And actually, she married a couple of men that tended to be a bit abusive. And the one, like, he had cheated on her, and then he shows up at my boyfriend's house where she was at, and she's bawling and she's crying, and he just wants to talk to her, just wants to talk to her. And I'm the one that told her he was cheating on her. And then, of course, they ended up getting back together, and I became the bad guy. And then there was another one that she was married to, and he was abusive to her, abusive to her child, his own child. I don't think he was abusive to. He might have been, but abusive situation. She was leaving him, wanted to move out, and I think I've talked about this before. I showed up, and he's all in my face. I'll kick your ass. I'll kick your ass, and I'm like, kick my ass. I'm not so and so, and I wouldn't back down. She thought she was going to have to call the cops. She left him. They ended up getting back together and stayed together for quite a while, and I became the bad guy. Didn't talk to her for years. I'm like, so yeah, I just kind of learn. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and that's
can't always jump right in because you don't know.
yeah, and that's not an exclusively like female trait either. I know some dudes who are like that, who are like you'll tell oh, your wife's cheating, or your wife or girlfriend's cheating on you, and they'll have a big fight, and they'll still, once again get together and think you're the bad person. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker, she was doing somebody else, and you just let her go. Now you're back together. Like, oh god,
Yeah, yeah,
people like that deserve each other. It's like whatever, you two work it the fuck out.
yeah.
Go.
Don't tell me your shit because I'm going to be on your side, and then get mad because I don't like her.
Yeah,
Don't.
yeah,
I hate that. I hate that. Don't bring me into it if you don't want my opinion.
yeah, yeah. And I think people do that because they might like drama or something. I don't fucking know, or they might just need to tell somebody, but they don't actually want you to do anything, which once again, as a dude, I fucking hate that when especially when women talk to you about their day, and it's like, don't do this, do this. It's like, I know you need somebody to listen to, but like right now you have you the way you're talking about this thing is like I'm giving you solutions for your problem.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's I don't know. It's
Yep.
weird, man.
Yep. Absolutely. No, it is weird. You just can't. You just can't. Always assume and jump in, and so I half listen. Like I legit half listen to people when they tell me stories. They think I'm a really awesome listener, but I'm really only half listening because I'm always thinking of something else. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible listener when it comes down to it.
No. It's just that ADD thing we have. It's like we're not we can either look at you and not listen, or look away and listen. It's like one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, because just because I'm not looking at you doesn't mean I'm not listening. Yeah, absolutely.
That's another thing I've kind of come to terms with. It's like, even though I'm not looking at you, I'm 100% listening to what you're saying. It's just that I can't do both. Sorry.
Yep. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah. Another thing I saw a couple videos of as well that was like really, once again, like really odd to me. A couple of them were like these robots reading Reddit threads or something, and both of them were like these guys and girls who were like play fighting all the time, whatever. And the woman kept thinking she was stronger than the dude.
Mm.
And in both cases, like the guy needed to get up and like do something, or he was late for something, and he kind of like not really tossed the girl, but kind of like put her aside in a very
Yeah.
not, I don't know, in a way that she wasn't expecting, kind of like put her to the side and like, oh, I need to get out of here kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the women were like kind of like taken aback and almost terrified or thought the dude was lying to them. It's like, it's one of those things where like to us, it's like if we're play fighting, we're play fighting. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And then the women got either scared or kind of, mad because the dude was lying to them about how strong they were. I'm like, and it's one of those things where it's like biologically men are stronger than women. Like
Yes.
that's just how that is. And it's funny because these women thought they were stronger than their dudes. I'm like,
Oh, whatever.
even the weakest dude is stronger than you.
I know,
Sorry.
absolutely.
And I was like, it was one of those things that I guess wasn't apparent to me, but I guess women just don't think about it, or they think that like
And do they not understand the difference between play fighting or dude is mad or has to go or go do something? Yeah, that's just stupid.
and it was one of those things that like I couldn't rack my brain on. I'm like, you do like like you don't realize like this is just play fighting. Like I'm just letting you win because we're together, or this might lead to you blowing me. Like that's how that works. But other than that, like if I need to go do something, I need you to move. I need to move you out of the way. I'm moving you out of the way. It's gonna be very like low effort kind of thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I mean,
I think that's stupid as hell. I remember the one video that you had shown me, or, and I can't remember exactly what he did, but yeah, there at the end, he just kind of moved her to the side, and she was like, "Oh, really? Did you? He's like a foot taller than you. Did you not think he couldn't kick your ass? I mean, I don't get it."
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like I don't know where that comes from. It's like why didn't this process like has no guy you've been with ever done this before and like just move you to the side? Like what is and and it's and I'm sure it happens but to women who are in their late 20s or late 30s or whatever, but like have you never been with a guy who just kind of like tossed you to the side?
I don't know. A lot of these younger men are metrosexual. Maybe she did think, maybe they did think that they were stronger than these men. But
you're not wrong. Some of them, it seems like most of them are weenies.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
just like, God.
Yeah, some of them are really quite soft looking, but that doesn't mean a whole lot.
That's true because biologically they're still stronger than
they could still be stronger.
Yeah.
Especially if you piss them off or they get in a fight or something happens. But yeah, that's just stupid. Makes you wonder, did they never have their dads around or anything like that? Shit, my dad only had 2 legs, and I tell you, he could probably still kick somebody's ass.
Yeah,
or grab them by their knees, pull them down.
Yeah, no, it was one of those things where like I couldn't wrap my brain around it. I'm like what leads to you not knowing this and not believing this or not having some sort of like experience where this is shot down earlier in life? Like it's just odd to me. Like yeah, it just doesn't make sense
unless
to me.
They're so ingrained that women have become so much stronger in society, and men should never ever ever do anything forceful against a woman. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but they better hope that they never get an abusive relationship. They'll really give you in for a surprise.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm not. I mean, once again, I'm not an advocate for hitting or slapping women, but
no, it's just how could they possibly be surprised that their boyfriends or husbands or whatever, they're 50 pounds heavier and a foot taller than they are, stronger.
Yeah, it was. Because once again didn't register in my brain. I'm just like, how does this happen to you? Somebody who's like probably in their once again like late 20s, early 30s, or even in their mid 30s. Like, have you never been around another dude who just kind of like pushed you aside or very low effort, like even like dummy arm wrestled you or something, and just been like, oh yeah, and it's easy to beat you, haha, like what the fuck? Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe her dad wasn't around or something.
Well, and here's the thing. Do they want a man that's weaker than them? Is that what they want? Because they were happy when they thought they were stronger than their man. So maybe that's what they want, is a man that they're strong, they're the stronger person. Who knows?
Maybe that's the underlying mental like thought thing. They're like, oh yeah, I need a guy who's like who's weaker than me. It's like, okay, that's weird. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't either. But this other one that you sent was really funny. The one where they're in the comedy club and that chick is like, I have a crush on this guy, so and so.
Oh my God.
And they're like, let's call him.
Oh my God. I love that one so much because like she was so out of like she didn't know what the hell was going on. She's like and the two guys are on stage like, should we tell her? And she's like she had this built up fantasy like sleeping beauty thing in her head, and I was like, lady. Oh my God. It's
just
not
so you
like
guys
that.
just so you guys know, so there's these two guys doing this stand up. And this chick in the audience, they must have asked, does anybody, I don't know if they asked if anybody has a crush or whatever with their boyfriend. And this chick is like, I have a crush. And she started talking about this dude that she met at a Taylor Swift concert. And he was there with two of his friends. And she really had a crush on him. And so they said, well, give us your phone. We'll try to call him. And the dude didn't answer, right? It went to voicemail. And the one guy was like, I bet if we call from their phone, he'll answer. Yep. And it was just some random person in the audience. He took their phone, called the dude, and the dude answered.
Yep.
I'm like, but then they started calling him like, what did they call him, an asshole or whatever? But I think that was actually pretty. He was trying to let her down, he probably had already told her, and she was clueless, man. She was not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, that's neither or a guy or girl trait, but it seems like when a female really likes a dude and has a crush on him, you get very like Disney princess like eyes and like are just like, he's the one. I'm going to bear his children. Like, calm down. And I've had several female friends who are like this, and like when they get shot down, it's just like, or when they realize like he's dating somebody else or has a fiance or whatever like that, just like the utter, it's weird because if it happens to a dude, it's like, all right, on to the next one. Like we're used to rejection, we're used to that happening, but when it happens to a female, it's like the world has ended and you need like 7 days to get back to normal. It's very strange.
Oh God, you know what's strange and funny? I never felt that way about a guy, but I feel that way about jobs. Like if I interview for a job, I just know I have it. How could you not want me? I know going into that interview, I don't even know why we're interviewing because I know you want me. And when I don't get the job, I'm shocked. I'm like stunned. I want to know why her. Why him? I'm so much better than they are. I treat work just like it's my relationship. Oh God.
But no, yeah, that video was hilarious. And it was just like, and once again, that woman was probably in her 30s.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of a common trait I keep saying is like women in their, millennial, I guess late millennial women, or women who are kind of my age. Which is sad because I know like 3 or 4 who are my age who are just still waiting for Mr. Right, and it's like, you're almost 40, stop.
Yeah. No.
And one of them is like, oh, I know dudes want a hard life. I'm like, no, you don't know dudes. I can prove it. You're single.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know you don't know dudes.
Yep.
If you knew men the way you say you thought you did, you wouldn't be single.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. It is what it is.
Well, I've come to the realization I will probably be single forever. Simply for the fact. So you know how many cats I have, right?
No.
You don't know how many cats I have? So I've mentioned it before. I have 4 cats. Had 4 cats. So I had 3 for many, many years. And as a matter of fact, the one, God, he was at least 19 years old when he died. But I had 2 cats die within a year of each other. It depressed me very much. So I went and I got a couple kittens. So then I had 3 cats again. Well, then earlier this year, there was a cat that kept coming around. We find it outside the winter time in the snow, be freezing. Go outside 1 a.m. He'd be curled up on my porch sleeping. And we're like, fuck it, we're taking this cat. Because this went on for like months. Took him to the vet. He didn't have a chip. Fine. Now I got 4 cats. The one has his claws. The other ones are declawed, but this one has his claws, right? I'm like, all right, got 4 cats. When the boys move out, they can each take 2 cats. Well, a week ago, a little over actually, because it was a week and a half ago, one of my friends had posted on Facebook that she, the business that her and her husband own, they found a couple cats out there. They can't keep them, blah, blah, blah. If anybody wants these cats, they're out there. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't want the cats. I just go out and feed them. I feel bad. I feel bad for these cats, right?
Yeah. I
go out there with a thing of food because it's not like in a housing addition or anything. We're talking about a reception hall. So, there's not like houses around for them to go in. There's fields and that, but no houses really. And I put some food down. These cats ran right up to me, started rubbing against me. I thought they were only like 5 or 6 months old, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad for these cats. Somebody dumped these fucking cats. And it's like, they are friendly cats. They're nice cats. They're pets. They were pets. Nobody is going to take these animals because they're too old. People want little tiny kittens.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and they're out in the country. If they're used to people feeding them, they're not going to be able to fucking, how are they going to catch their food now? And it was going to rain the next day. So I was like, all right, fine. So I picked them up and put them in my car. And I thought, well, they can just live outside at my house. I'm not going to take them in because I already got 4 fucking cats. They could just live outside of my house. And so that whole first night, they were outside, and the one cat would run all around my yard, and it just kept running around, run across the street. The next morning, I went out to feed them, and it's running around, and it's raining, and it's running through the rain, and I'm like calling it, here, kitty, kitty. And they came in, and I was like, all right, I'll take you in the house. So I brought these cats in the house because it was raining. And I started calling them Cat 1 and Cat 2 because I'm like, I'm not naming these cats. I told the kids, I said, whoever names these fucking cats are going to take them. I'm not naming them. But I could tell the female had kittens. So I was like, oh, that's what those motherfuckers did. They waited until she had kittens and they dumped her. They probably couldn't afford to get her fixed. So now I got to take them to the vet. Take them to the vet. Cost me $350. And this isn't even getting them fixed. This is just checkup, shot. They're not chipped. Make sure, we got, healthy cats. And at the vet, they're called Cat 1 and Cat 2. Yep. Nope. Not naming them. I said, I'm not planning on keeping these fucking cats. And they kept asking me, did she have kittens? Did she have kittens? And I said, nope. I asked my friend twice, and they're like, nope, no kittens. So I picked them up Wednesday night. Friday is when I took them to the vet. On Monday, I have my friends texting me. Her husband's trying to call me. Well, he went out to mow, and he found a kitten under the lawnmower. And I was like, only one? And he said, yes, only one. It was in pretty bad shape. And I'm like, well, if this is their fucking kitten and this is Monday and I picked those cats up Wednesday, hell yeah, it's in bad shape. So her son went out and he cleaned the cat up. He said it was covered in fleas. So he cleaned the cat up, got it some milk, but it wouldn't really eat. And my friend was like, it really needs to be with his mother. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I didn't want another fucking cat. I'm not keeping this cat. And she's like, she had her son bring him over. And immediately these two other cats jumped into this kitten's box. And the mom started nursing this little kitten. And the dad started cleaning it. And it was like, oh, now that's fucking adorable. So that was last Monday. So for the past week, because mom was without her kitten for so long, her milk's gone. She ain't got no milk. So I'm having to get up every 3-4 hours to feed this fucking kitten that I also had to pay to take to the goddamn vet because it's only like 2 weeks old.
Oh my God.
And I'm bottle feeding this motherfucking kitten. And if you've been counting, that means there are 7 cats in my house right now. I'm like, I am never fucking dating again. There is no man on this earth is gonna want to walk into this house. They'll be like, nope, and walk their asses back out.
Two is the limit for a dude. If I were to go to a girl's house and there are 2 cats, I'm like, all right, 2's fine. If it's more than that, that's a red flag and that's a problem.
Well, and see, now we got this problem because I'm like, I'm trying to tell the kids because I kept calling the cats Cat 1 and Cat 2. And I said, okay, who's taking these cats? And both of the kids are like, we don't want those cats. They're each going to take 1 cat. That's all they're taking. They each have their favorite cat that they're taking, which would leave me with the rest of the fucking cats. And I'm like, my friend's son said that he had a home for that little kitten whenever it was weaned and ready to go. But now I'm getting attached to it because the damn thing for the past week knows. Like, I'll come out and I'll be like, little peanut. Little peanut.
Oh,
it'll,
you named
it'll,
it.
It'll
You
come
named it.
running. It'll come running.
You
Actually,
named
that
it.
was that. It'll come running and it'll look for me. And it's so sweet. It'll fall asleep on me. And then it like attacks my face because it has those little baby claws. And then, yeah. And then the dad cat, one day I was looking at him and I'm like, he looks like a Luther. So now I start calling him Luther. The only one I haven't named is the female. And because I don't know what to name her. But yeah, so the vet, because my son's the one that took the kitten to the vet. And the vet seemed to think it probably wasn't their kitten because I had picked them up on Wednesday night and this was Monday. How could a kitten that's like 2 weeks old survive that long? Because they said it was 2 weeks, no more than 3 weeks. Survive that long without food. And but here's the thing. The male cat is mostly white with a little bit of orange. The female cat is mostly orange with a little bit of white. They're probably fucking brother and sister. Wouldn't be surprised.
They probably are.
And so this little kitten is all light orange. And I'm like, I really think that is their kitten. But yeah. And then when we first brought him here, the fucking male kept nursing on the female. And I'm like, well, fuck, there ain't no kittens. I guess we kept trying to keep him away from her. But he just kept nursing it. He's like this big, honking, healthy-looking ass cat. And she's like this little scrawny thing. I'm like, yeah, because he's fucking sucking her dry. Leave her alone, man. She ain't got no kittens, you fucking asshole. And now that we do have this kitten, if the kitten does try to nurse, because she's like all dried up, but once in a while you get like a little dribble from her, this fucking male cat will push the kitten out of the way to try to drink her milk. I'm like, you a fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I told the kids, I said, well, if you can each at least take just one, that'll leave me with 5. But see, everybody's bonded. And I feel bad for the kitten because usually when you get cats, you're supposed to get them at least 2 cats. They keep each other entertained. They keep each other, they clean each other, things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so this male and female got to go together. And then the other 2 cats I had gotten, they would have to stay together because they're bonded. And then the kitten, of course, keep it with its parents, which the male's getting neutered on Wednesday. So, yeah. So these stray cats I picked up will have already cost me $450 counting the kitten's visit. And then now I got to go get, the male neutered and then the female.
Oh
my God. Yes, fucking cats. But yeah, I'm like, you each got to take 2. Got to take 2 cats. I actually wanted the kids out and all the cats out. That's really what I wanted. I wanted everybody out of my goddamn house, and then I could relax.
No, but you're starting a cat sanctuary.
Isn't it? So, it's actually illegal in my county.
Oh, my God.
In my city limits, you're only allowed 3 pets.
Okay, well.
Or you can be fined. And I'm like, well, okay. But you know what? Somebody has to complain about you. But yeah, they have been known. The cops have been known to show up. And you've got to relinquish your animals. And I think that's horrible. The law, which my cousin was part of the reason the law is in place because he's on the city council. He's like the one with most seniority now, I think. But I think the reason they did it is for hoarders or people that aren't taking care of their animals and things like that. This was a way to, they're not taking care of their animals. Let's talk to this person and they'll relinquish them. Otherwise, the fine is like $100 a day.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
And speaking of, oh my God, the cost, because I get good food for my cats. And then I got all these fucking outside cats that keep coming around and want fed. And then now there's this mama cat outside with 4 fucking kittens. I'm going nuts out here.
Oh my God.
And because I put food out on the porch, everybody wants to come to my house to eat on the porch. And I got all these fucking cats. I honest to God, I'm not 80 years old, but I look like it because I'll go out there in my robe and, walk around and feed the cats and fill the bird feeders. And it's fucking horrible.
Oh, my God.
I can't wait to Scarefest. I have got to get away.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, you need some time away from your cat house.
Oh my God, yes I do. I've got to get out of here.
Oh God.
And I think I'm allergic to cats too. I swear to God, I've been saying that for years because when I'm home, and I realized this a couple years ago, when I'm home, like I get a sore throat and itchy eyes, but I love my cats. But now it's kind of like, man, you kids, you got to get the fuck out and take some cats with you because I can't handle this shit no more.
Each one of them needs to take 2 cats. This way, you're only
But
left
see,
with,
that's the thing. The other ones are all bonded. So who takes which cats?
Just put out a thing on Facebook saying you need somebody to take the cats away. Like these 3 only, and then these 2 only, and then these and these. Like this way, they're all together whenever they leave.
Yeah, that's why I was like, the male and female, I absolutely would have given up. I only brought them in my house because they were obviously, and this is sad, they were loved. Feral cats. I don't know if you've ever seen a feral cat, but they'd like to claw your face off if you get too close to them.
Yep.
Feral cats are terrible. I have a story about a feral cat in a moment, but I don't think I told it. But these cats were loving. They don't scratch, they don't bite, they cuddle with you. They were loved. And I'm like, they probably couldn't, whoever had them probably couldn't afford to get her fixed or him fixed. She got pregnant and they dumped them. they dumped them. They couldn't, because once they have kittens, then you got to try to get rid of the kittens before they get too big and start breeding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But it turns out these cats are 8 to 10 months old. I thought they were younger because the female is very, very small. But I think she's just scrawny because that male kept sucking her dry. But yeah. So, but no, the story I have about the feral cat. So years ago, I I do love cats. Everybody knows I love cats. But my ex had caught a cat, or was it a couple cats? I think it was just the one cat, out of his uncle's place. It was a feral cat. It was young. We'll keep it in the house. Loved this cat. We tried to pet it, all that. This thing was so fucking feral and so mean. Like, I was in school at the time, and it would piss on my books.
Oh my
and
God.
Then I'll never forget this, though. I'm one of those people, I always make my bed. And not like tight hospital corners, but just like throw the sheets and blanket, make it look presentable.
Yeah.
I crawl into bed one night, slide my legs down, and my leg feels something wet on it, right? I pull back the covers. That fucking cat had crawled into my bed, under the sheets, and shit in my bed.
Oh my God.
Like, not even on top of the bed, in the bed, so that when I slid my legs in there, I slid it into his shit. Fucking cat.
Yeah.
I about killed him. I had a sliding glass door. I had one at that apartment. I tossed that cat outside. I shouldn't even say tossed. I wung that cat outside, and please don't call the ASPCA on me, but try sticking your legs in cat shit.
No, I
as far as I could.
No,
get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that out there. I've been like, yeah, you need to get the fuck out.
Yeah, he was happy to go. He did not like the apartment life. He wanted to stay feral. So he got his wish. He could have his feral life back.
Jeez. Yeah. I know. It's funny because I always hear that, like, feral cats are the reason, like, they're the worst killers ever, because they've killed so many species of birds, like, just domestically, because people will, not get them spayed or neutered, so there's constantly kittens and cats in the world, and so they're the ones who will get in trees and, like, kill birds and eat them all the time. You know, because of that, we've lost, like, so many species of birds, I think, and I'm like, that's hilarious, but also terrible.
Yeah, I mean, they are sneaky, and if they still have their claws, they can get up them trees like nobody's business. They're quiet. Yeah, feral cats can be bad. That's another reason why these two other cats, I'm like, shit, if they run into a feral cat, because a feral cat will tear the shit out of you.
Yeah.
This one cat that brought her kittens around, we saw her under the shed with her kittens. Yeah, they're so used to me putting food out now. She stopped. She still hisses at me some, but like the one day I was going to put the food down and she clawed my fucking hand. And I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to feed you. God damn. I ain't going to pet you.
You just need to not feed any cat around you anymore. And they'll slowly disappear, hopefully.
They would. There's actually several houses around here that feed cats. And that's the funny thing. Up until probably the winter of 2020, I never fed the outside animals. Never once. And now I'm spending like hundreds of dollars a month on cat food and bird food and squirrel nuts. And it takes me like an hour to refill everything, to feed all the animals. Like I'm on a fucking farm. Only they're all wild.
Oh God! I mean, if you can get all the cats to run on like a treadmill, maybe you can get enough energy for a toaster or something. I don't know.
Oh God! But yeah, you're right. If I quit feeding them, they would stop coming around. It's because I put the food out.
Yeah, they can bother somebody else than down the street.
Yeah, and that's what I should do. But I was also thinking of getting heated cat shelters for the
Oh my
winter that I
God.
can put outside.
Oh my
I
God. You have a
really,
problem. You
I
have a
really
problem.
have no life. This is what I've become. This is what I've become. I'm just giving it up. You know, I guess I
I
will
shouldn't.
just,
I shouldn't make too much fun because I'll, if I get bored, I'll start another fucking business. That's my
I get
problem.
cats, you start businesses. At
Yeah.
least you get money from your shit.
Oh God. That's true. That's
I
true.
get bit and scratched and everything else.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I
Um.
I thought both of my boys were gonna move out.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So Conrad twice now, like within the last month, he has found a house that he likes. So I'm from a very, like I've said before, the city that I live in, we have less than 10,000 people within the city limits. Within the county, it's less than 35,000 people. So it's a very small Midwestern community. Well, twice now in the last month, my son has found a house that he liked, went to put an offer in, only to be told that somebody else had put like a full price cash offer in. I'm like, cash? Ain't no motherfuckers in this town got 140,000 in cash that they can buy these fucking houses with.
Shit, man. The
Twice
same
now
thing.
that's
Same thing.
happened.
Yeah, something happened to me whenever I was looking for a place. Like the first one I wanted, which was really nice. Somebody put in like a cash offer that was like 15 over, and I'm just like, good for them. It was terrible. It was crazy. And then like the third one I wanted, somebody put in a cash offer that I think was like 20 or 25
Oh my God.
over my offer, which was already over, and I'm just like, shit, they really want it, man. But
That makes no sense to me because, like I told Conrad, I said, you know what? It's fine because they're going to overpay, first of all. And the resale value, then they're not going to be able to make it back. But what I'm figuring is they're probably buying these places and they're going to fix them up. You know, it's obviously, I don't think it's an individual. I think it's more of like contractors or some companies coming in because these houses they're buying, they are older. They do need work, good structurally, but like this one, my God, it looked like the interior was from the 80s, you know,
yeah,
would need new carpet and all that. They'll come in, they'll fix it up and they'll resell it and, you know, make 50 grand off of it or some shit like that.
Yeah, they'll modernize it with minimal effort and add about 50 to 75 grand on it for sure. And they'll sell it to some upscale family who is from a bigger city like California, New York.
Yep.
Who has the money, has the cash, and they'll move in. So that's gonna happen too.
And this wants a little place in Midwest Indiana where, you know, life is good and we're surrounded by soybeans. Yeah. Yeah.
When you start getting California neighbors, you're gonna have to talk to them very, very like, non-threatening, being like, listen, we know you're from California. We don't really care, but just don't bring your fucking politics here or your your vegan bullshit. All right, we eat meat, we drink milk, tough shit. All right.
Yep. We go cow tipping.
Yeah,
actually, I fucking used to have to bottle feed calves that we then turned around and my dad had slaughtered. Like, that's cruel. That's mean.
Listen. Hamburgers are delicious. Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, yeah, I still eat meat, but that's mean. Yeah, have to bottle feed them calves. I remember that too. Shit, I was like in middle school. They got these big ass bottles, and you had to scoop just like a baby bottle. You had to scoop it in there, and then you had to try to scoop in their formula, and then mix it with water and shake it, and then hold it while these baby cows ate. Ugh.
And you had no idea you were fattening them up for slaughter.
Yeah. He did the same damn thing to my older brother and sister when they were younger. There was this pig that they used to have on this. They had a mini farm, and they always rode the pig. The pig was really nice, really friendly. They would ride the pig. Pig died. My dad had it slaughtered.
Oh,
like, that's so mean. It's just cruel. Oh, he's dead. Let's eat it.
You gotta bring home the bacon somehow.
Waste not, want not.
Exactly.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, bacon is delicious, man. That's all.
Oh, I really like bacon. I do. I do. Yeah, there was one time and you know what's surprising? I still like bacon because I have seen a hog slaughtered. My mom and my old stepdad took us kids. They had a farmer slaughter a hog. We saw them hang it up. They gutted it. They skinned it. We threw it in the back of a pickup truck. They cut its head off. We threw it in the back of a pickup truck. My brother stood there with the head on the top of the truck because he thought that shit was funny. And we kids sat in the back of this pickup with this pig carcass. And then my stepdad sat out in the garage and butchered this pig. But us kids had to take this knife and scrape all the fat, the lard off the pig. So we would scrape and scrape till we got down to the meat, and then we would take the fat into my mom, who would put it in a package because she would use it to cook with, and then he would cut different pieces, and we would take the pieces into her and tell her, you know, what it was, and she would wrap it in white butcher paper. But yeah, we did that right in the garage.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I've seen the videos of the animals getting slaughtered and things like that, and like it doesn't affect me. Like I still eat the stuff, and people are like, oh, meat is murder. I'm just like, we've been doing it for thousands of years. I don't know what to tell you. It's like it's part of our diet and stuff. It's like, yeah, don't know what to tell you. I wish they would quit, injecting them with hormones and shit like that. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, yeah, I have a bag of frozen chicken breast in my freezer right now. That's what I eat. That's how it is.
Yeah, but there's still certain things I can't eat. Like, and of course in the United States, we would not legally be able to eat them. Like these cats, I always think about that with these cats because I love cats, and maybe it's because I love them, but domesticated animals here are not the same as domesticated animals elsewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, there are areas that still eat horse and cats and dogs and monkeys and shit. And it's not judgmental wise. It would be very judgmental for me to say, oh my God, how could you eat that? You're a horrible person. But that's how they were raised. And it is meat. I mean, truly the only meat we cannot eat is human.
Yeah.
And that's only because it if a human eats another human, it gives you that one brain disease.
Yeah, I know. I
makes
know
you crazy.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what it is, but I forget what it's called. But there's always a joke, that you never see any feral cats around, Chinese restaurant, and there's a reason for it.
So Conrad and I were at this Chinese restaurant once waiting for our food, and I swear to God, because we both looked at each other at the same time, we're sitting there and we put our order in, and then we sat down and we hear meow. And we both look at each other like, was that a fucking cat? But yeah. Kuru, Kuru.
Oh yeah, Kuru. Yeah, that's what it is. Yep, that's what it is.
It's that cannibalism thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wonder, is it when you eat any part of the human, or is it just the brain?
I think it's just the brain because we can't process human brain matter in our own intestines, and it becomes a problem. Yeah. It's weird. But yeah, it happens in tribes and stuff like that whenever they eat people. They usually will scoop out the brains and make little shrunken heads from the skin and make the skulls into bowls or whatever they do. They usually do things like that. So, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, don't waste the animal kind of thing, So
yeah. But when it comes to, because some countries, insects, certain insects are very, a delicacy, and so I try to remember those things because here shit, we wouldn't need a lot of what some of those other countries do. But then again, we don't have the population some of those countries do.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
So,
very true. That's very true.
yeah.
Yeah, especially some of the street food that they get, man. It's fucking wild. It's real
Yeah.
wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of
crazy.
population, Musk posted, let me pull his Facebook up here. I had to laugh at this. So Musk evidently met with the president of Hungary, and it's him, and this is actually very attractive woman. If that's the president of Hungary, she's very attractive. So he's probably thinking about population.
I was about to say she's gonna get pregnant real soon.
Yeah, because his thing was he posted their picture and he said, "Great meeting with the president of Hungary about the population collapse crisis." Like, really, dude? The population is not collapsing.
It won't be in about 9 months.
We're overpopulated, but yeah, you should see how they're looking at each other. I'm like,
God.
oh my God.
He's about to get 2 more kids out of her.
He's impregnating her with his eyes right now. That's what he's doing.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Every female around him is bound to get pregnant. It's hilarious.
Everybody under the age of 35.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
He's too much, man. He's too much.
Hey, that's fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah. Oh God. Have you heard the rumors about him wanting to start charging for Twitter?
Yeah, but and he might. Facebook. There's been rumors about Facebook charging for Facebook for years. I got actually one of those, reminder things like, 12 years ago this happened, and I had a post about if they start charging, I'm not paying. So I don't know. He might do it though. Actually, Musk might do it just because he's Musk and he paid too much for Twitter. So
yeah, which is funny. I mean, if the price is, and I'm sure like he'll allow like an annual thing, like he'll do that. But I'm sure if he does it, people will freak out. And it's like, you do realize that's a genius move, right? Like, he's charging for social media. Like, that's a ridiculously genius move. Yeah, I know it's failing. Yeah, I know people don't want to, ads don't want to be placed on it. But like, every social media account has wanted to do that, and he's the only one who's probably going to and get away with it. So,
well, because everybody's like, oh, well, if you start charging, I'll just go elsewhere. But here's the thing. You don't come up right away and say, we're going to charge you $10 a month. We'll do $1.
Yeah, you do like $1 too, or you
do $1. Like, yeah.
You do $1 too, or you do like $20 for a year.
Yep.
Something simple. You give everybody a break for the annual subscription, and then that's it.
And then what you get is the people that they're afraid they will miss something if they don't subscribe.
Yeah, FOMO. Yeah, that's a big thing.
So, yeah. I'm actually shocked. Does Netflix do ads yet?
Yeah, they do. There's a tier that does ads, but it's very restrictive. You don't get a lot of the shows.
Oh, okay.
You'll get the American shows, but usually new stuff is very like limited. I think they have to like have placement for ads and stuff, so it's a weird thing. But it's funny because all that shit's going down the hill, man. It's weird because when you look at the actual numbers for streaming, they do not make as much as they say they do. They really don't, because they're going to make even
less now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they screwed themselves because they would inflate their numbers and be like, oh, this many views, this many subscriptions, this, that, and the other. And also, when the majority of people, the content people want to watch is like old movies and stuff, and you don't have any of them, and you're just trying to make your own content is like shit. What are you doing? What's your platform about? Like, what's going on over there? I mean, it's one of those things where these VOD platforms keep getting more and more expensive, and they're offering less and less content we care about. And at some point, there's going to be, I honestly think it's going to be between Apple and Amazon for like the two tiers of content you're going to like be able to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Verizon and AT&T. Like, this is all you get for your phone service. That's it.
Yep.
So that's what's going to happen.
Well, And what a lot of people don't realize is they bitch about them wanting to charge for ads or things like that. But if they don't have the revenue coming in, they can't buy new content. They can't create new shows. They can't. And then people get pissed when they sell our data. Oh, Facebook was mining our data and selling it?
Yeah, and
shit, you have it for free. How do you think they make money?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I hope if Twitter is paid, you get zero ads. Like that's what I want with paid Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, you get zero ads. That's all I want.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. That'd be a great selling point. But yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people don't even think about that. Like, oh, it's free, I use it. It's like, yeah, but you're the product. Like, you're the everything you look at or click on every time you scroll and stop for a second and look at something for half a second. They clock it and they know what you're looking at, so they can send you an email or put more of those things in your feed, and you buy stuff, and everybody makes a little bit of money off of everybody else, and it's a whole fucking thing. So.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It can get annoying, but I understand the rationale behind it. So, it is what it is. If you don't use their service, you won't get some of those ads and shit popping up and emails and shit like that.
Yeah. And, and that's the thing. And like, I remember Matt Damon was talking about, the old days of doing stuff. With like DVDs coming out and things, he's like, oh, because because the movie would come out on DVD, we get another bump in in sales, and we could do things for a smaller price. And he was like, back then you could make a $20 million movie, you'd make some money at the box office, and then when the DVD came out, you'd make a little bit more money, and you'd get your cable deal or maybe your VOD deal, and you'd make a little bit more money, and it was okay. You could make a $20 million movie with that budget and make your money back. Now you need a minimum $100 million to even start, and that's how it's going. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. So they kind of screwed themselves out of a lot of stuff because they all wanted to be greedy.
Yep.
And it's one of those things, like even as modern people and people in people in America, we're kind of bred for things to be ultra convenient. That's
absolutely.
also a thing, and I think we have to kind of.
I've become so lazy.
So have I. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just kind of saying what I see, and we need to kind of be conscious of that, and maybe be a little bit a little bit less into that mindset of if I can get in 15 minutes, or I can't get streaming on my TV, I don't want it. It's like, maybe think about that a little bit, just a little bit, because especially in independent film and things like that, people still sell DVDs and Blu-rays, and it's hard to get those movies onto a platform.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. And Tubi, I mean, people can put everything on Tubi, but what if some point, even now Tubi's making their own content, what if they just want to do their own content and not want to get people people's stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a thing too. What if they get to a point where they become Netflix and they just don't want to deal with anybody else's content, and they're just like, well, screw you, we're just gonna keep making our own stuff and put ads in the middle of it, and people will still watch it. It's like, at some point people will just forget you and go on to the next thing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like new streaming services tend to pop up. There's a couple of them that aren't as popular that I really enjoy, though. One of them is Topic. Topic.com, I guess, because you can watch it on your computer, or they have an app. But I guess I could probably get them through Amazon. But I really like some of their original shows that they put out.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's
good.
several streaming services like that now.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's the original content that I really look for now. Do they have it? Because otherwise, I could find, if it's something that plays on CBS or whatever, I can just find it on a different streaming service.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay extra for that. But it's the original content that keeps me coming back to certain companies.
Yeah, and if the content is, worth your time and money, because,
yeah,
like Netflix spends $20 billion a year on content, and like it seems like only 10% of it is good.
Yeah, I hate to say this. Netflix was the one that I constantly watched. but I have found I don't watch it as much. One that I have started watching more is Apple TV Plus.
That's interesting.
Paramount Plus and Apple TV Plus. There are some great shows on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, I know
movies and shows.
Yeah, I know there's a space one that I've seen a couple times. I might need to like get them for a month or something and watch a show.
Yeah. It and the only reason I never ever would have started watching them, but when I got the boys' laptops a couple years ago, it came with like a free month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, what the heck, I'll watch it. And there was some really good shows on there that I could not find elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
they have they have the money to once again they're like valued at a $2 trillion company or something. But they have the money to get a lot of big name content and really put a lot of money behind the content, for it. So even now I've seen some movies that are coming out in theaters that are like from Apple, Apple Plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, they're on their own studio now. That's terrifying.
Oh, they're definitely growing. Yeah. There's much more on there now than when I first started watching them. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I think them and Amazon are going to be the two titans of entertainment, over the next few years, because they're going to be the ones buying up Netflix and Hulu and Disney and everybody else until there's only two left.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I put just a little tiny bit of money into the stock market, like at 4 a.m. this morning. So when it was opening, because I had read that WGA has a tentative agreement.
Yep.
Which means that the SAG and that won't be far behind.
Yeah. One of them is cross the picket line, and they're in tentative agreements. And from what I've heard from all the people who've been reporting about it, the agreement is very, very good, and they might just say yes, and then we gotta wait for the other guys to cross the line too. But the funny thing is that a couple of studios crossed the line before the big ones did, like A24.
Yeah,
they were allowed to keep moving. They were allowed to keep making stuff.
What's the point of the strike then if you have some of these big companies, these big movie studios that are, this movie was allowed, because they
because they met the requirements for them to keep doing stuff. That's why. No, they crossed the picket line in like a good way. They didn't like scab or whatever that is, but they crossed the picket line in a good way, and made sure that the SAG and WGA like got the things they wanted to. It's funny because if you look at the budgets for the movies through A24, they're no bigger than $10 million.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're not that big. Even Talk to Me was like $5 million. And that was a really good movie to watch. So, and even like another studio that I think crossed the line or did well was Blumhouse. And they're another one that won't go above 10.
Ever. Oh wow. Yeah.
So they're constantly making stuff, and it's funny to see because they can make their budget back in a week.
Yeah.
Even if they don't do that good, they'll make it back in a week.
Yep.
So, and they're making really fun, good stories.
Yeah,
and
they are.
For some reason, Hollywood can't do that, and it's like, why? How can these guys do it and you can't? What's the thing?
Well, and now the video games, they're trying to get trying to renegotiate for the video game makers.
Yep.
Because they got the voice actors and yep.
Yeah, and video games are a bigger industry than movies are because like you have like 20 Call of Duty games all the time, and it's ridiculous. They're all the same. They're just like multi-playing shooting games. That's all they are.
Yeah.
And they sell for like $60 a pop now. People fucking buy them day of. It's crazy.
Yep. Oh, Conrad does that. If he knows a game's coming out, 2 a.m. that game is being released.
Yeah, but, and then the internet slows down for the next 2 hours for him downloading it.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there.
So annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, this is kind of off topic, but let's see if we get your opinion. And then anybody else that wants an opinion, you can write it into ericadyerpodcast@gmail.com. So I got this friend, okay?
Okay.
And the other night, he sent me a message. And we'll see what your thought on this is.
Okay.
He goes,
Okay.
I'm going to die alone, I swear to God. You said you've been single for a while. Do you enjoy it? Because that's going to be me from now on. And then I replied, some crap. And then he goes, I stopped talking to a girl at 1 a.m. so I could sleep. I wake up at 9:30 to 10, or at 9:30, have 10 missed texts. Good morning. What are you doing? Why are you ignoring me? What did I do? And then saying, wow, way to ghost me. You're ugly ass. You're as ugly on the outside as you are on the inside. And I'm just like, huh? I need a coffee. So that was him. Okay. So evidently he talked to this chick and then, yeah, she went crazy with her text. So I was like, oh my God. And then he goes, I'm usually a bastard until I get my morning coffee. And then, let's see, because she got a hold of him again. That bitch just texted me saying a real man makes sure he's the first text. And this is like 6:39 p.m. because the other one was in the morning he texted me, and this was that night. So he goes, the bitch just messaged me saying a real man makes sure he's the first text his woman gets in the AM, and I'm a failure to men everywhere. Naturally, I told her I'm not a man. I'm trans. So leave me the fuck alone.
Damn it. That's one thing that really irks me is like, men cannot have any sort of opinion or judgment on women whatsoever. Like that's the society we're in right now. It's like we can't even have a fucking preference. Like that's the way it seems like. And women are like, oh, and it irks the shit out of me when women say a real man. It's like, bitch, you have never met any woman who says that has never met a real man. It's like, go fuck yourself. Immediately go fuck yourself.
Oh yeah.
It's that irks the shit out of me. It's like, oh, a real man. It's like, woman, you are a woman. You don't even know how it is to be a man. Like, shut the fuck up, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
then 10 texts.
10,
like,
in guy. God, I would love to see like the timing of each text, like how far they are in between each other, to really judge this woman. Because I'm like, listen, bitch. I sleep, okay? I have things to do. You are not a priority. I mean, unless we're dating, like, I don't know, a month or two in, maybe. But like even then, it's like you don't get to text me 10 times in the fucking AM, like before the sun even cracks the fucking sky, to tell me I'm a piece of shit. It's like, bitch, I haven't even had my coffee. I'm not conscious yet. I'm sorry, you're up for your morning. You're having your morning iced coffee while going to, like, your fucking kickboxing class, but come the fuck on.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you dodged a bullet, dude. That bitch is crazy. Yeah, because they talked until 1 a.m., and then he got up at 9:30, and he already had 10 text messages from her.
Once again, like, that's something, like, once again, guys love that. I'll admit that. When we can talk to somebody late into the night, that's great. That means that to us, it means we have a connection, and it's going good. And then we say good night, that cuts off that whole thing. It's like, oh, I need to sleep, and you're trying to be polite about, like, falling asleep as you're trying to text and read them, and you sound on your phone so you can, wake up whenever the ding comes on. But it's like we're adults. We have to sleep.
Now, see, that's where I'm different, and why some of these guys that had been messaging me and talking to me probably don't now, because I'll just turn my ringer off. We could be in the middle of a conversation going back and forth, and I decide I'm tired. I'll turn my ringer off and go to bed. I don't even say what I'm doing. I'm just I'm tired.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, even if I'm texting with a girl, I will not, like, text her after like 9, because once again, if she's got a job or something like that, she may go to sleep early. I have to be conscious of that as an adult. It's like, people have jobs. This is a thing.
Yep.
So I will not hit somebody up at like 8:30 or 9. It's like, no, maybe around like 4, maybe around 3 or 4, whatever. start texting somebody. But unless they continue the conversation like past 9, then like I will reciprocate until they're like, okay, I got to sleep. It's like, all right, I understand, whatever. But yeah, he really did dodge a bullet. For her to go psycho like that immediately, it's like, listen, bitch, you had him and you lost him. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not even sure how long he's been talking to her, but I don't think they ever met in person. I think it was a dating website that, he was chatting with her. That's, he'd just been chatting with her. But yeah, that whole, a real man and you're a failure to men everywhere. I'm like, please.
That shit, like that.
I'd block her ass.
Yeah. First of all, any woman who says that immediately, you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It's like, and once again, if a guy says that about a woman, he's a piece of shit too. It goes both ways. It's just the way it is. And like, I really hate when women say that, like they have, the agency to just be, just say, oh, real man, this, that's like, you don't know. You do not know the first thing. Calm down. Okay. But no, he 100% dodged a bullet. And it's like, listen, that's how it seems like dating now is just a war of like, not getting your feelings hurt and always feeling like the better person.
And it's so stressful. It is. I couldn't imagine, because it's like, oh, God forbid you say the wrong thing or a text message doesn't go through. Do you know how many times like I went to send even just my kids a text and it's like, well, you guys didn't come, and I never hit enter. That shit happens. But some people go off.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's true. No, I remember I was talking to one girl on Bumble a while back. I think it was before COVID. We were hitting it off. It was nice and whatever. And I was being very honest with her when she asked me questions and stuff. And, she asked me, oh, do you smoke weed? And I'm like, yeah, like twice a month I do, just to relax. And she worked for the airline. She's like, oh, I can't be around that because of my job. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, yeah, because, it's like, oh, we can't get together because of that. Like, my job is very important and I can't be exposed to that because of drug testing in my work. And I'm like, I do it twice a month in the privacy of my own place. You don't have to be there when I do it.
Like
I just do it.
Blow it in her face.
Yeah, it's like I'm not. It's like I'm not moving fucking bricks here, lady. Like I'm just doing it to fucking relax, man.
Oh God.
And she's like, oh, we can just be friends. I'm like, I didn't come on here to be friends. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Bye. And I was like, I don't know what dream man box I didn't check, but sorry. It was just like, God damn, man. It was terrible. Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, like, well, like, and I sent her it's one of those things where I shouldn't have sent her a paragraph. I would have been just like, all right, I guess I'm not the one for you, and just cut it off. But like, I'd invested like 2 weeks into talking to her, and I was like, I don't want this to go away all of a sudden. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, I've only invested 2 weeks. This is fine.
Yeah. Even if it was 2 years, you know what? Sometimes that shit don't work out. This is so weird, but like, if I am talking to somebody or dating somebody and I'm like, oh, this just doesn't seem to be working, but I hate to start over, I will calculate how much of my life they were actually part of. I will. I'm sorry, but if I'm like 40 years old and I dated you for 2 years, you're a very minute part of my life. I still got another 40 years to live, so
oh my gosh.
It's fine. Move on. But yeah, she sounded fucking psycho. That's what I told him. I was like, no, man.
Yeah, if it's more than 2 texts like hello and then like are you still there? If it's more than that, she's psycho.
Well, and then even to go to the right away, you're as ugly on the outside as you are on the inside. Then, bitch, why the fuck you texted me? Why you so mad that I didn't text you right away?
Yeah, I did this thing where I'm unconscious for 8 hours and I have to replenish my stuff. I don't know what you want, woman. I'm sorry you're up at all hours of the night and, doing dumb shit. Sorry.
Oh, God. I never have understood that in fights when you have one person that kind of like calls the other one out for being ugly or stupid and you're like,
yeah, I don't.
But you're with them. I mean, why are you?
Yeah, it's like you're with me. Why if that's how you feel, then why the fuck are you with me? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't
Oh,
get it. I don't
God.
get it. I don't get it. But yeah,
I don't either.
we're probably gonna be single for the rest of our
That's all right. When my kids move out, I got more room for cats.
lives. Oh my god.
Called me the cat whisperer. No, no fucking lie, dude. So you know I'm that one commercial building. They're supposed to be paying it off real soon, and I'm like, I was gonna pay bills with that money, like pay my house off, but I
Yeah.
started looking at these. They got these two commercial buildings where I live that are very very cheap price. You get both buildings together, and I started looking up how you start a cat cafe.
Oh my
No fucking
god.
lie. I started looking it up like, what would you sell at a cat cafe? And how would you? I'm like, no, please, dear God, don't let me buy a building and make a cat cafe. Please, please, let me get laid.
You need to sell your building and go get a credit check for Angels for Cowboys or whatever that thing is, and just get a
Oh,
professional in there. I'm
God.
serious. I'm
A
serious.
cat cafe. I seriously was because I was thinking, well, I could have volunteers. Um, because it was the two buildings, and I'm like, okay, so the upstairs I could have converted to apartments. The one side could be a cat cafe. The other side they had a bar in there, so and I could retain their liquor license, and then I could have like a I saw this in Ohio over in Dublin, um, a bar, but it has like the old arcade games
Yeah,
and
yeah,
pinball machines and
yeah.
things like that. I think that's really cool.
I mean, if your area doesn't have something like that, then that's always a
No,
good thing to have
fuck
because
no. We got less than 10,000 people in town. We ain't got shit here.
yeah. And I mean, and the good thing with something like that is that you can always have a subscription service for the games where like they have a little card, they pay so much, and
Yeah, I
the
just thought that
unlimited
would
play.
be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just have drinks and stuff. That's it. You have like a little staging area for some indie bands or whatever, little dance floor for some DJ stuff, whatever, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought those two things, and I was like, well, if the apartments are upstairs, you could rent the apartments that would pay the mortgage on the
Yep.
building.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah. Apartments are huge right now because you can't build enough of them.
yeah. I thought about, but I'm like, no, 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 Erica. I need to fix my house up. Don't do it,
And get the cats out.
and get the cats out. Maybe I should build them their own little house. I could build them a tiny house in the backyard.
Oh my god. It's an automated feeding thing. Just like throw food in there and that's it. I get fed every so often.
Oh my God. Yeah, I need to get rid of these cats. I was hoping the kids would each take two cats. I actually told Zachary the cat that he wants, it's like a really old cat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, she ain't gonna last a long time, so you can take these two also. God, just take these cats. It's so stressful trying to feed these fuckers too. Because the one's a kitten. He can't jump up. He's only like 3 weeks old now. But, the other ones, I'm trying to pour the food or put the food in all these bowls. And I got these fucking cats keep jumping up. And, yeah, they're stressing me out. And then, like, this little kitten. God, I'm so pathetic. I got a blanket on the floor and I got little toys laying all around so the kitten has toys to play with because you got to keep his mind stimulated. I'm treating this thing like it's a fucking toddler.
I know. You went from 4 to 7, so I don't know what to tell you.
It was not my intention. It was not my intention. I should never went out to feed those fucking cats, and then I never would have known. I should have just left them alone.
Don't bring any more home.
No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Yeah. Just if you want to do something humane or whatever, take them to the shelter and just leave them. Don't think about it. Just do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they would have ran and hid from me, I wouldn't have been a big deal. But when I put the food down and the one was really skinny, Um, and they just scarfed that food down, and then they rubbed against my legs. I was like, oh, fuck, these are house cats that somebody dumped out here. And I'm like, oh, these poor things. And I thought, you know what? I'll just dump them in town versus out of town. Somebody will take these cats. But then they stayed around my porch. Yeah. I'm a sucker. Oh, well. Oh, and the litter boxes. My God, I got to clean these litter boxes like 2-3 times a day. Had to get extra litter boxes.
I don't have a goldfish or plants or anything in my place. It's fucking low maintenance. I
wish I had nothing. I cannot wait for Scarefest and LA. That's another thing. I was trying to make a
yeah. The comedy training or the stand-up training, yeah.
Yep. I was trying to think of shit to talk about during that stand-up routine, because I'm supposed to be at the Hollywood Improv. So like it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to perform at the Hollywood Improv.
No. The story you tell is the one about the guy I think one of your exes trying to, like, what was it? I think he had pulled like a sex toy out of the trash from your dad or something.
Oh yeah.
Tell that story on stage in like a 5-minute chunk. The entire audience will be riveted, trust me. They will not know what to do with that story. They will be quiet and you'll be able to hear a pin drop. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah, tell that story and everyone will be like, "What?" You'll win whatever contest there is or something. Yeah, trust me. Yeah,
Oh God. Yeah, see, I don't know yet how much time we're going to get or any of that, but part of what we're doing that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is building up to Sunday. Yeah. And it's supposed to be a fairly small group, but of course, money.
Yeah.
We will be working with different comedians that actually work now.
Nice.
Writing for different shows or doing stand-up. The other thing, I'm trying to look at it here, they didn't say they were going to film it, but this is the same group. Oh, I probably didn't watch it. Was it Rockstar
Energy
Boot Camp? No, it was like it was on Amazon, like a documentary. Let's see, Rockstar. Let's see if I can find it.
But are they going to make a show out of it or something and put it up on some?
That's
platform?
what I'm wondering, because they did with the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll find out when you get there. They'll have paperwork for that whole thing and stuff. So, and there'll be cameras around you guys constantly if that's the case. So, but just keep that story in mind and kind of make that your routine. I think that would be hilarious, like very captivating story for the audience to hear. Especially if you say that title, it's like, my ex-boyfriend found my dad's found my dead dad's pussy. Or something like that. Like that would be your opening line. It's like, let me elaborate, and then you go into the story.
Yeah, that was actually my my son's father.
Yeah. If you can keep that story in mind, or at least make it, like, once again, you talk to these guys and like make the timing better and more comedic, and figure some things out. I'm sure it would be a ridiculously hilarious set. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was a rock and roll fantasy camp.
Okay.
And it had Alice Cooper. So it's the same company that did that.
Okay. So this might be...
Did the rock camp.
Yeah, so this might be... this might be them. Also, be careful with signing stuff, because they may have like a America's Got Talent kind of thing where where they get you for like 20 years of whatever you do. They get a percentage. So be careful of that too.
Mm. Yeah, I'll have to because I don't know anything about that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Just to kind of get away. I'll be away, God, for quite a bit because then right after that is when we go to Scarefest.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I will be up there that Thursday for the bourbon tasting, and there the entire weekend, probably getting drunk and hopefully not getting kicked out. I'll probably just watch a lot of the indie movies that are in that little theater wherever they have it there, you know.
At the Lex. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll probably watch some of the movies there.
I got us tickets, including you. We got tickets for the drag show too. If you want to go, great. If you don't want to go, that's fine too. But we got the tickets all at the same time.
That's fine. It's like, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm not into drag. I'm not against it, but it's not my thing.
And if you don't want to go, that's fine because at the time I bought the tickets, I didn't know Heather was going.
Yeah, no, so, that's entirely fine. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like that's not my thing, man. But kudos to those dudes who are willing to do that. It's a rough job, man. It's not easy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, some of them look much better than I do in makeup. That's for damn sure.
They kick that shit. They really do kick that shit on.
They do. Absolutely. But some look really awesome. Some do not.
Yeah. I got no problem with it. It's just, it's not my thing,
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So, I'll just see if Heather wants to go with us then. I was going to look up the name of this restaurant that Kathy got us a reservation for. I can't believe she's so funny. Reservation for fine. 2.
It's fine. Oh.
Nick is on his own.
Once again, I'll probably. I mean, it's and here's the thing: is like it's Lexington. Like, it's a nice area. There are little restaurants and shit around there that are fine. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. I'll find something, or I'll go drink at the bar and continue to get drunk that day. I don't fucking. I'll just do whatever.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll just do whatever. I mean, it's basically gonna be like me being on the cruise again, where I just drank the entire day away. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And we got the most out of those fucking passes. I'm sure the cruise line was like, fuck these people. It's like, well, you gave us the passes, we used them.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is good. Oh, well, on that note, anything else that you wanted to cover? I mean, we haven't talked in a couple weeks, so anything else exciting went on?
No, nothing really. I mean, it's one of those things where I've probably booked a lot of trips and stuff. I don't know what I'm doing for the 13th in October. I know my friend's band is playing that Friday or that Saturday. Or I might go to this thing called Splatter Flicks in North Carolina.
Okay.
In Durham, where they have like 3 theaters there where you can go watch old movies and just once again drink and eat. So I might do that. I think it's $100 for like 10 tickets or something, and you just like give them whichever ticket you want for that particular movie, and you go watch it. And that's it. So I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Nice.
I don't know. Yeah. I know. I'm sure there'll be something Friday the 13th related going on that weekend. So I might, I'll get into some kind of trouble for sure. Yeah. So I don't know. Either I'll go see my friend's band or I'll go to this I guess retro film festival or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I guess that is Friday the 13th. God dang. Yeah, I'll be at that comedy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all I got, and then we got Scarefest, which I think we're both looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I recently found out that I might be going overseas at the beginning of next year. I don't know where, but
really?
Somewhere. Yeah.
You don't know where?
Well, there have been 2 proposed destinations that are starkly different from each other. One is Vietnam and one is Spain, so I don't know which one I'm going to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going, so I'll figure it out if it's even happening. I think Spain would be nice because it's not like up north or anything in there, and hopefully it'll be kind of warm. So here's hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, those are drastically different.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. One of my aunts from California said, she wanted to go to Vietnam, and I was like, yeah, I'll go too. Why not? I haven't been, and
Mm-hmm.
I read that book about the world's greatest beer run, when this guy from Boston went to see his friends in Vietnam during the war and took them beer from Boston and stuff like that. And I was like, I get to see all the places where he went. But
Oh yeah, I watched that one too. That was a good one. It was something
yeah,
about the greatest beer run.
yeah, yep,
Okay, yeah, that was a real good
yeah,
show.
with Zac Efron. Yeah, that's an amazing movie. I fucking love it.
Based on true story.
Yeah, I actually listened to the audiobook, and it was way different in a good way.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm sure it was different.
Yeah, but then there's Spain, and I've got some family who live in Malaga, so that might be the other destination. So we're gonna figure it out, and we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to let us know once you decide.
Yeah. Once things go through, I'll let you know for sure. But it's funny because I didn't want to do any traveling. I wanted to just not travel this year, and it's just more and more like it's happening. So it's like, whatever, it's fine. It's fine.
You know what? We only live once.
That's very true. That's very true.
Only live once. That's why I keep trying to tell myself. And I read something the other day. I wish I could remember where I read it or who had wrote it. Because it's like I get so stressed about work, and I'm missing out on things because there's things I haven't done that I wanted to do because it's like, I got to work. I committed. I got to work. And it's like, you only live once, man. You only live once. And if you don't hit that deadline, you don't hit that deadline. I was like, oh, that's true.
Yep.
What are they going to do? I've been trying to get them to fire me since April. So needless to say, that's why
I said, like I keep offering you. Do you want to make a movie?
Maybe I will. That'll keep me from buying a cat cafe.
There you go. There you go. It really will keep you from buying a cat cafe.
Oh, God. Yeah, it will, actually.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. But yes, if anybody has an opinion about anything, especially my one friend and what you thought of his situation with that text from that woman, those 10 texts from that woman, and him not being a real man, let us know at ericadyerpodcast@gmail.com.